You matter. You're powerful, strong-willed, always ready for the worst. Your abilities know no bounds, and your potential is limitless. Enter the mentality of a king. Each one of us has the potential to become a king, whether it be in your workplace, school, or even work. All of us have the potential to become something great. But why? Why is it that we are unable to match up to our full potential? Why is it that some people are able to tap into this hidden potential and we're not? Well, today, I'm coming to you with 4 points that might provide us with the answer. Point number 1. Your mind is your most powerful weapon. Now, there's a reason why great men like Andrew Tate, David Goggins, and Cristiano Ronaldo are always speaking about their mentality, simply because without a strong mind, you can never be king. So how do we work on this? Consistency. And I know we've heard this like over 1 billion times, probably 1 trillion times, who knows, depending on how much self-improvement content you actually consume. There's a secret to consistency that is not spoken about a lot, and that is, well, let's put it into a formula term. Consistency does not equal perfection, but consistency equals repetition. That means you don't have to go to the gym every single day. What I mean by this is that, let's say for some reason something comes up and you miss a day in the gym and it wasn't particularly your fault, and all of a sudden on the next day you decide to punish yourself because you feel as though the week wasn't perfect or you were unable to go yesterday, so you can't go today, all because you believe that every single day should be done. And that's true, every single day should be done with maximum accuracy, but you should understand as well that showing up alone means you are on your road to consistency. If I post a YouTube video today and I don't post tomorrow, but I post the next day, that is still being consistent. Why? Because I'm still showing up. Yes, I can get better and say, okay, maybe let me actually post tomorrow and post on the next day after. That shows that I am actually trying to do better. That's what consistency is. It's repetition. You don't have to be perfect. Missing one day doesn't mean you miss the rest of the days of the week. It just means you slipped up once. The problem with people is that once you fall, you decide to stay down. But the people that understand what consistency is know that it's just a minor setback. We don't really have to take so much time off of the game. Let's actually take this time to recuperate and bounce back even harder on the next day. You just make up for what you did yesterday. And I know it's not ideal. I know some people may shoot me in the foot for this, but you have to understand that it's not perfection. You get better with it over time. Number 2. Your hunger should fuel you. Imagine a lion in the jungle, lurking, hunting for its next meal. A lion cannot rest until it has eaten. So let's take a page out of the King of the Jungle's book. Emphasis on king. So the lion, in this context, cannot sleep until it has hunted. It has gotten its prey. You know, if it's eaten, then okay, I can go to sleep, so the lion says. Anyways, let's break this down, right? For us, since we're not lions, I'm praying no lions are watching this. Anyways, you break this down and put this into a perspective of goals. Your goals are the prey, are the food that you have to eat, right? The goals are your food, and you cannot go to sleep, you cannot go rest until you have completed your goals. So these goals may be the goals that you set at the beginning of the week, at the beginning of the day, at the beginning of the month. It doesn't matter. But those goals should be completed before you go to sleep. They should be goals that actually build up to fuel the even bigger goal. So let's say your goal is to actually become the best shooter in your league, right? Football perspective. And you decide that I'm going to do shooting practice every single day. That should be your food. If you do not perform your shooting practice, there should be a penalty. You should actually have a penalty and you should have a reward. That's how you build habits. But we're not going to go into that. If you want another video on that, you'll just tell me. So understand that your goals are your food and you cannot go to bed hungry. I mean, you can, but like it's unpleasant and you wake up around 3 o'clock in the morning and it's a very unpleasant feeling. We're getting off course, but understand that your goals are your food and you shouldn't go to sleep hungry. Just try something every single day to push to become 1% better than you were the day before. Point 3. Always be prepared. A king should always be prepared. Ever heard the saying, don't give Batman prep time? Well, you should understand that Batman always plans for the worst and the best. Now, he understands that anything could go wrong, and this isn't a negative way of thinking, but it's always trying to stay a step ahead. When you think of the worst, or when you plan for the worst, when the worst comes, you're actually prepared and it doesn't catch you off guard. You are able to actually attack and perform at full force. Now, how does this tie into being a king? Well, as a king, you are running a kingdom. And as a king or an aspiring king, someone that wants the mentality of a king, you should understand the importance of planning, strategizing, understanding your next move, your opponent's next move, and the move after that. You should always stay 2 steps ahead. Whether it be your enemy's moves or your moves, you should always stay 2 steps ahead. Why? Because you will be able to navigate your life so much more better when you understand what is coming up, whether it be bad or whether it be good. So, as a king, always stay prepared. Always plan out your next moves. Never let your opponent know your next move before you know your next move, because they can sabotage you and they can make your life a living hell. And the last and final point of being a king. This is a point that has been lost in time, and over time people have continued to disregard this because they believe that people are not trustworthy. And I won't lie, I was one of those people, but then you get to read the Bible, you get to really spend time with God, and you realize that a king looks out for his people. A king is not put there to be praised, to be offered to have all the women in the world. No, a king was a sign. If you were assigned to be a king, if you were given the role of a king, you should understand that being a king means taking care of those around you. When you take care of those around you, you are fulfilling your role as a king. A king has to be strong because so many people are looking up to him. That's why we bring about these points. That's why you always have to be prepared, because when your people come to you, they look for a leader. They look for someone that is going to lead them through the wars, the problems, the droughts, the famines. Everything that goes bad, you will be the person that has to fix it, or the person that comes up with the solution to fix it, because they believe in you and you should believe in them as well. Being king doesn't mean you are there to be praised. You are a king because people assigned you to be. You can never be a king off of your own accord. If people believe and want you to be a king, then you will be a king. When you succeed, bring your people with you. There's nothing more beautiful than a king that actually brings success to the table. If you are a king and you are not living up to your standards, you are not bringing food to the table, you are not comforting your people when they need that from you, then understand that your role as a king is not being fulfilled. So I urge you to look at the people around you, look at their people, look at your own, and look at the people of other kingdoms as well, and truly think about someone else, someone other than yourself. And with self-improvement, sometimes people always say, oh, don't focus on others, focus on yourself. But the Bible doesn't say that. It says focus on others as well. Be merciful as your Father also is merciful. So I urge you to think about others just as much as you think about yourself, because we need each other to grow and we need each other to learn. And in the end, we need each other to live.